The Indiana Fever went all out for Caitlin Clark's logo drop. So there was a lot of excitement already fluttering about Gamebridge, and energy was high. They definitely spared no expense in letting everybody know that Caitlin Clark does have a new logo out. The arena was actually covered with t-shirts that said Caitlin Clark was here. The outside of the arena had her logo everywhere. She even showed up with all these accoutrements with a CC logo in it.
The WNBA is totally in meltdown mode right now, and honestly, they've only got themselves to blame. Their biggest star, Caitlin Clark, the one everyone watches, has been out for weeks with a groin injury. It was supposed to be a small thing, right? But somehow, it turned into her being gone for an entire month. And without her on the court, all the problems the league has been trying to hide are just completely out in the open.
The more these up-and-coming next generation young guns enter the league, it is becoming more and more apparent that the WNBA veterans did not do much to really advance the game of the WNBA. They didn't really develop the game as much as they'd like to think. You have these rookies coming in and doing in one season, and doing in less than a season and half a season what it's taken these vets of the past 6.
So while Clark's still stuck on the bench in her street clothes, Nike just dropped a total bombshell that's sending shockwaves through basketball. Caitlin Clark's new signature logo is here. And get this, all the early signs are pointing to it completely outselling and outshining anything any other WNBA player is putting out there. It's a really harsh reality check, and it's making every other player in the league feel even smaller than they already did. Kind of stuck in Clark's massive shadow.
Listen, Caitlin Clark had a huge announcement today. The new Caitlin Clark logo is out. She took to Twitter and said, tune in, logo collection coming soon. Signature product dropping 2026. I think we getting them new CCs, them logo 3 CCs in 2026, y'all. It'll be no more Kobe PEs, which we've loved. We about to get them Caitlin Clark sneakers.
Let's just talk about the numbers for a second, okay? So when Nike announced Caitlin Clark as their newest signature athlete on August 25th, and they showed off that cool interlocking C logo, which honestly looks more professional than half the league's marketing stuff, something pretty wild happened. Nike's stock was already doing great, right? It jumped 3% when Clark's Kobe-inspired sneakers sold out super fast back in July, and they'd seen a 17% rally since their last earnings report. But this new logo, this is totally different. It's not just some collaboration. Nike is basically betting $28 million over 8 years that Clark is actually worth more than the entire WNBA put together. That's a huge statement.
If you are hoping to get your hands on the Caitlin Clark version of Nike's Kobe Bryant sneaker, you're out of luck. They are out of stock. The WNBA star teamed up with Nike for a player edition of the Kobe 5 Pro Tro, decked out in Indiana Fever colors. You see them on your screen. They dropped at 10 a.m. Monday, and they sold out before 11 a.m. In fact,
the panic swirling around isn't just because of one logo. It's really about what that logo actually represents. Caitlin Clark is now the third WNBA player to land a signature shoe deal with Nike, joining incredible players like A'ja Wilson and Sabrina Ionescu. But here's the kicker, the really big deal. She's the very first female basketball player in Nike's entire history to get her own specific standalone logo. Think about that for a second.
The $190 kicks are already showing up on the secondary market at close to double the retail price.
We're not just talking about a shoe here, or even just some apparel. This is a full-blown logo. That's the kind of branding that puts you in the same exact conversation as icons like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. Meanwhile, it feels like other WNBA players are still out there just trying to get people to remember their names. The timing for all of this couldn't be more brutal for the league either. Clark has been sidelined since July 15th with that groin injury, missing 15 straight games. And what happened when she was out? The WNBA's ratings didn't just dip a little bit. They completely collapsed. Seriously, faster than a house of cards in a hurricane.
I've been telling y'all to stay patient. I've been telling y'all that Nike takes their time, that A'ja Wilson's shoe deal was 2 years in the making, that Paige Beckers had PEs, not her own signature shoe, and that Caitlin Clark's was 100% coming. And people kept saying, oh, Nike fumbled the bag with Caitlyn. It has to get out there. Nike fumbled the bag. No, they didn't. It takes time. She's got to develop a whole freaking product line. But they just announced, breaking news right now, we have a logo. That is the official Caitlyn Clark Nike logo. And it's not just that. I mean, this is cool. Nike has just announced that a signature product line will be dropping soon, with signature shoes coming in 2026. Now, this is going to be her logo for all of her Nike stuff that is Caitlyn Clark official stuff.
Look at the numbers for the All-Star game without Clark. It was down a massive 36% from the year before, dropping from 3.44 million viewers all the way down to 2.119 million. And those games that were supposed to be the big marquee matchups, they basically turned into ghost towns on television. Plus, there was this one game, Fever against Sky, that pulled in 2.7 million viewers earlier in the season. The rematch? Without both Clark and Angel Reese. The viewership numbers were so incredibly embarrassing that some networks just stopped releasing them altogether.
Clark has been a lightning rod for attention since entering the league. She brought in new fans, national media, and even primetime slots. Her absence isn't just hurting the Indiana Fever, it's apparently impacting the entire league's momentum. But this also sparks a deeper conversation. Is it fair for one rookie to carry the weight of an entire league's popularity? You see, critics say the WNBA's marketing has leaned heavily on Caitlyn Clark, while longtime stars like A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and others deserve more spotlight too. On the flip side, others argue Caitlyn Clark is the draw, and the ratings prove it. Some even wonder,
but Nike, man. Nike totally saw what was happening. They took a hard look at Clark's massive impact, like the $52.3 million she generated for Iowa, or the $36 million for Indianapolis, and even how she contributed 26% to the WNBA's entire economic activity, and they basically said, you know what? We're not just going to sit around and wait for the league to figure things out. So, this logo deal, it's not just a business move. It's a clear declaration that Clark has completely transcended the WNBA entirely. She's bigger than just the league itself.
35%. WNBA ratings down, All-Star game 35% than last year. Yet you're telling me that it doesn't have to do with Caitlyn. 35%. It really makes it difficult for fans of the WNBA in general and Caitlyn Clark, like myself, to have conversations, to join a Discord, just to I don't know, want to just talk up the WNBA in general when you can't even give Caitlyn the props that she deserves.
So, during her rookie season in 2024, Caitlyn Clark was actually responsible for about 26.5% of all the WNBA's economic activity. Think about that. Over a quarter of the league's ticket sales, all their merchandise, and even the media value, it was all tied to just one player. A sports finance expert, Ryan Brewer, even found that 1 out of every 6 tickets sold in WNBA arenas was because fans wanted to see Clark. Basically, she totally moved the needle for attendance across the entire league like nobody ever has before. The Indiana Fever's home attendance alone shot up to an average of 17,036 per game. That's a league record, and it even surpassed their NBA counterparts, the Pacers. Now, if you take away those crowds, all the WNBA's big attendance records start to sound pretty hollow. The league did hit a huge overall attendance mark of 1.58 million in 2023, and they were on pace to hit over 2.5 million in 2025. But honestly, everyone knows exactly why. The Clark phenomenon is what filled those arenas. So, with this kind of massive impact, Nike's move to lock Clark into a long-term deal and build an entire product line around her, that was a total no-brainer. Ann Miller, who's Nike's EVP of Global Sports Marketing, put it really diplomatically in the press release, saying Clark is an exceptional basketball player and an outstanding ambassador for the game. But in corporate speak, that's basically them admitting, hey, we're building our entire women's basketball strategy around this one person. Nike is literally betting that investing in Clark right now, giving her that Jordan-level treatment, is going to pay off in billions down the road as she becomes the global face of women's hoops.
Caitlyn will never be paid what she's worth by the WNBA because it is quite literally impossible for them to pay her what she's worth. An economist at Indiana University Columbus calculated that Caitlyn Clark was responsible for $36 million in economic impact to the city of Indianapolis, and that she is responsible for 27% of the entire WNBA's economic activity for this past season, including attendance, merchandise sales, and television. One player.
As if the WNBA didn't have enough problems with Clark being out, the rest of the league has been absolutely ravaged by an unprecedented injury crisis this season. Seriously, it's become a full-blown catastrophe, and Clark is just the tip of the iceberg here. According to Next Hoops, players have already suffered 212 injuries, leading to 859 games missed this season, and there are still 2 weeks left in the regular season. We're talking 10 ACL tears, multiple MCL injuries. The Golden State Valkyries alone have had 27 separate injuries. This isn't just some bad luck. It's a systematic failure that's completely destroying the league's credibility and its ability to protect its most valuable assets. Meanwhile, Clark's Nike deal is making everyone else look like they're playing in completely different leagues. Her Kobe-inspired sneakers in fever colors sold out in minutes, and resale prices hit $600 for shoes that originally retailed at $190. That's not just demand, that's pure mania. That's the kind of cultural impact that Nike is betting will translate into billions of dollars over the life of her contract. The WNBA wants to pretend they're not dependent on one player, but the numbers just don't lie. Without Clark, viewership has plummeted from the 2 to 3 million range, down to just 459,000 on some games. The league went from proudly posting every single viewership number when Clark plays, to mysteriously staying silent when she doesn't. It's not just a pattern, it's desperation disguised as strategy. And what makes this even more painful for other players is watching Nike heavily invest in Clark's future while they're still stuck begging for basic respect. The same players who were wearing "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirts during the All-Star weekend are now watching Clark secure a deal that totally dwarfs most of their entire career earnings. Nike isn't just paying Clark, they're paying her Jordan money. Michael Jordan money, the kind of money that comes with expectations of global domination.
Means as much to their league, whatever league it is, as Caitlyn Clark means to the WNBA. And no person has done more for their league than what Caitlyn Clark has done for the WNBA. Patrick Mahomes does not mean that much to the NFL. Steph Curry does not mean that much to the NBA. LeBron James does not mean that much to the NBA. She is a monster. When we look back on this, Caitlyn Clark will be for the WNBA what Magic Johnson and Larry Bird were for the NBA. If this thing ever becomes as big as some people think it can become, she will be the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. You needed two of them to take the NBA to another level. You needed Magic and Larry. She doesn't need anybody.
So, Clark's official logo collection launches on October 1st with a navy and yellow t-shirt dropping even sooner, on September 1st, and her very first signature shoe will debut in... But here's what's really going to sting. Nike designed this logo, with Clark being totally hands-on through the entire process. The two interwoven C's represent her connection with fans worldwide, while a smaller, hidden C symbolizes how her game was built from the inside out. This isn't just some merchandise, you know? It's storytelling. It's serious brand building. It's the kind of marketing sophistication that makes everyone else in the league look totally amateurish. The financial implications are just staggering. Sports economist Ryan Brewer had already projected Clark's economic impact could hit $1 billion this season. And that was before the Nike logo announcement. Now, the sky's the limit. When one person can move stock prices, sell out entire arenas, and generate viewership numbers that actually eclipse playoff games, you're not just talking about a basketball player anymore. You're talking about a genuine cultural phenomenon.
A 10 for 10. And a lot of people have been getting on Nike because they don't feel like they have been promoting Caitlyn as much as they should. But I will say we have to give credit where credit is due. I feel like in the past month or so, they have been tweeting about Caitlyn more. And then obviously with the shoe release, they made this super sick commercial to promote it. And of course, just today, Caitlyn Clark's new Kobe PE shoe sold out in less than a minute. And I saw so many tweets about this, so many people who were so sad that they missed out on this shoe. I saw that there was this one Dick's store and people were lined up around the corner, like camping out, trying to get the shoe.
And the WNBA Man, they're just stuck watching their golden goose recover from an injury that honestly should have been handled way better. This is a league that's proving every single day that it can't protect its stars. This injury epidemic isn't just messing with how players perform, it's completely destroying narratives, ruining storylines, and just making it impossible to build any kind of sustainable star power when your biggest names keep getting hurt. And trust me, the psychological warfare is only just beginning. Other players are about to watch Clark return to arenas that might have been empty without her, but will now be filled with 15,000 fans wearing her logo, buying her merchandise, and chanting her name. They're going to see Nike marketing campaigns that completely dwarf anything the WNBA has ever put out. And they're going to witness the kind of star treatment that only comes with being utterly irreplaceable in a league that's full of what feels like replaceable parts.
And I'm here to tell you, they dropping some merch too. Now you can pre-order Caitlin Clark signature t-shirts, man. Nike wasted no time in getting the ball rolling for the Caitlin Clark brand. Now, I've been pretty vocal about this. I believe they're turning Caitlin Clark brand into a luxury athletic brand. Hence why the logo looked eerily, this is just my theory, to the Gucci logo. But I will say this, though. It is a unisex logo. You can tell by how the logo is designed. You can tell by how the logo is made. It is definitely a unisex logo. And guys, I'm telling you.
The thing is, Nike's investment in Clark isn't just about basketball. It's a huge bet on the entire future of women's sports. They are literally building their whole women's basketball strategy around one single person, and that person is Caitlin Clark. The league's attendance numbers might be hitting records, like 2.5 million fans and still counting. But everyone knows the real truth. Those numbers exist purely because of Clark. The moment she went down with that injury, ticket prices absolutely crashed. Games started getting moved back to smaller venues, and the entire house of cards just started wobbling. Yeah, the Golden State Valkyries sold out all 16 home games, and the Fever led in total attendance, but seriously, strip away the Clark effect, and you're just left with the same league that struggled for relevance for decades. Clark's return is inevitable, of course, but the damage to the WNBA's credibility, that might actually be permanent. They've essentially proven they can't survive without her, can't protect her, and can't replicate what she brings to the table. Meanwhile, Nike is expertly positioning her for global domination with a logo that will easily outlast her playing career and merchandise that's set to generate revenue for decades to come.
The Caitlin Clark collaborations just keep coming, ladies and gentlemen. The God Caitlin Clark has now done a collaboration with Stanley, man. You know how huge this is? You know how many ladies love they Stanley Cup, man? And now you got the most electrifying woman in women's basketball collaborating with them, man. I can't wait to see what it is. Is it going to be Clark's logo on the Stanley Cup, man? What is it going to be? Good job, Stanley, picking up Caitlin Clark to do a collaboration with y'all, man, because this is going to be huge, man.
So, in the meantime, Nike has pretty much crowned Caitlin Clark the queen of women's basketball. That new logo, the upcoming Clark brand apparel collection, and the planned 2026 signature shoe, it completely cements that Clark isn't just a WNBA star. She is a standalone brand, period.
You know, just trying to be that kind of soundboard for her and that voice, having gone through something kind of similar and, you know, knowing obviously it's really unfortunate that we don't have her, but you know, she means a lot more to the game than just showing up and playing. And I think you're able to see that with just the excitement in Indy right now, regardless of if she's playing or not.
You, man, the ladies is gonna love this, man. They already be walking around with they big ass Stanley Cups, never letting it go. And now you got a God Caitlin Clark Stanley Cup collaboration. Fire, man. But what else can you do when the most electrifying woman in women's basketball is just out there, man? And you know you gonna want to do a collaboration with her because it's gonna bring all the goddamn attention, man. Good job, Clark. Congratulations, man. Let the endorsements and the collaborations keep rolling, ladies and gentlemen.
But here's the thing. The panic isn't just about viewership or attendance anymore. It's really about overall relevance. Every other player in the league is about to get a harsh reminder that in professional sports, there are genuine superstars, and then there's everyone else. Clark's Nike logo isn't just some fashion statement. It's a clear declaration that she's completely transcended the sport altogether. So when Clark steps back onto that court wearing her signature logo, it won't just be a comeback from injury. It'll be a coronation. Nike has already crowned their queen, and the WNBA is finally realizing they never actually had a choice in the matter. This panic is truly just beginning. And honestly, they totally brought this on themselves. The league spent months letting players target Clark, allowing injuries to pile up and pretending they didn't really need their biggest star. Nike just reminded everyone exactly what they've been missing and what they stand to lose if they don't get their act together right now. Clark's logo isn't just merchandise. It's a massive warning shot to a league that completely forgot who truly runs the show.